Mm, mm, mm. The white supremacist Mr. Donald Trump strikes again. So, word on the street, he signed something called the First Step Act, and it released over 1,000 prisoners from jail. Like he didn't know most of them were going to be African American, like 91% of them were black. Oh, he knew. And after all that work, our homegirl, Kamala, after all that work she did, arresting and prosecuting our black men, putting them behind bars, after all that work she did, this racist ass gonna come in and undo it. Who do you think you are, Donald Trump? Oh, I'm onto your racism. That racist son of a bitch.
91%, according to two sources. The Justice Department announced last summer that the First Step Act would release more than 3,100 federal prison inmates, and said its retroactive sentencing reform had led to nearly 1,700 sentence reductions. The Sentencing Project said last year that Black Americans made up 91% of everyone receiving reductions. Fact check, Trump's policy, Politico.com. The USSC said 25% of those sentence reductions were granted to prisoners whose cases originated in 3 states: Florida, South Carolina, and Virginia. Over 91% were African Americans, and most were male.
The United States leads the world in incarceration rates when compared to every other country in the world. 1 out of 5 of all of our prisoners is in jail because of drugs, which greatly dominates on the federal level.
On an issue such as this, that once divided America, as recently as 2.5 decades ago, we can begin to come together to reverse the damage done by the mass incarceration epidemic and put our society and incarcerated individuals in a better place.
But when you got somebody, when they come home, sometimes they're not allowed to vote, they're not allowed to get an apartment, they're not allowed to apply for certain jobs, they're not allowed to get a student loan. We're not giving them a second chance.
You had a bill and you're pushing it forward, and you've been able to work with, of all people, Jared Kushner.
Congressman Doug Collins, who's a conservative Republican from rural Georgia, and I, in partnership with some of our colleagues on the House Judiciary Committee, have introduced prison reform legislation that is designed to help facilitate successful reentry of currently incarcerated individuals into society so that they can become productive citizens.
Mr. Chairman, 25 members voted aye, 5 members voted no.
Ayes have it, and the bill is ordered reported favorably to the House.
The mass incarceration epidemic in America has been almost 50 years in the making. And you can't simply wave one legislative magic wand and make it all go away. It's going to require sustained effort, sustained intensity, sustained commitment, and a meaningful first step.